This behind me is the Berembau, the Clarence River, and a bit of other story. If we go to the next slide, just quickly a bit about our history and my family at once. I think Aboriginal people, our family histories tell the story of this country, and this man behind me posed up real flash is my great-grandfather. His name was William Leslie Robinson, or Tracker. So he was one of the first enlisted trackers for the New South Wales Police, and he's on the cover of Dawn magazine, which was a government initiative to share and highlight positive stories of this idea of an assimilating Indigenous population, and it sat within this assimilationist rhetoric that presented figures of that transition. And you'll notice the description of him, I think, stands out for me the most, is a splendid example of Australian manhood. One that is compliant, one that is that word, assimilating. And down below is one of his daughters, one of my nan's sisters. Her name's Auntie Evelyn Robinson. She was one of the first teachers in New South Wales. She went to Sydney Teachers College here in Sydney. And her, my nan, and Auntie Phyllis, three sisters of the same age, but while Evelyn went to school, my nan and Phyllis had to work and clean the school to support her through that. So throughout our stories, throughout our families, there's these moments of sacrifice where we're absorbing these systemic challenges and moving beyond for a greater good, and acknowledging them are the reason why I can be here today, and also probably disappoint this mission of the Dawn. Everyone know what a tracker is? Anyone? Yeah. I see, yes. So the Gulpilil cinematic expression of trackers, one of their utilities was for the missionary school system to trace down runaways. On the East Coast, trackers, at least I can speak on my great-grandfather, had a range of other utilities. More predominantly was tracking down murderers, and there's a lot of funny lore around that. Anyway, I'm going to get distracted by these, and I cannot ramble. My father then grew up in Redfern, if we can skip over. And he had this built environment experience, and I acknowledge Redfern and the connection through that. And he would end up going through a time. He was born in 1966, so he was a year before that first referendum acknowledged us as human beings with the right to exist, with the right to have a say in this nation, to vote in this nation. So one human life. That's how far we've come. But I'm going to share a poem about him, if we go to the next image, and then we're going to kill this because I get distracted. This poem is called Cowboys Don't Cry. So Tracker was a horseman, and that runs in the family, and like my nan, like my great-grandfather, and my dad also had to absorb and survive a certain environment, and through which we inherited this silence, this idea of silence. And for a man in general, and that connection to our fathers, that is something real, very felt, and something I try to understand through poetry. And you might recognize an Alan Jackson song by the name of Cowboys Don't Cry, which is kind of inspo there. I inherited many invisible things, but your prolonged stoic pauses, the most. So long they lasted like leather and denim. I'd search for you in the texture of them. On horseback adrift, your tracks were like mist, and into their depths my imagination swam. Tracing old gold mines, bracken fern and ridge lines, surveying your silent horizon, asking, what stories does your heart still harbor? Swaying in my saddle, a labored question mark, I'd roam the distance between words disparate and unsaid, wondering, what rests in the depths of silence between a son and his father? Here I rear gently the reins just to see a fuller picture of him. Wrists folded upon one another, posture soft yet proud like a king. Storm-born cowboy, Australian-made leather became your skin. Silence has brought you safety, and what a world you've carved from it. How gently you bow your head when the track bends. How tenderly you draw breath from the unsung wind. Here in the real world, if cowboys don't cry, this must be what they do instead. Here in the real world, if heroes don't die, their woes, it seems, are best left unsaid. Best to carry them on horseback, in denim pockets and leather saddlebags. I am the son of leather and denim, still tracing the depths of this mist. And I inherit the invisible things, the secrets, the silence, and the wind. Thank you.